What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and I know you don't have to say anything, but yeah, I've been slacking with the storytime videos recently, and I need to not do that, and I've been saying this for a long time. I don't know, man, I get focused on everything else, but I wanted to come back and do another one, and I wanted to do one that wasn't like one of the fast food horror story videos or something like that, and I also wanted to do one that wasn't me, like refixing one of my older ones that was just horrible, because the old ones that I made, I didn't like the quality of them, but I wanted to do a brand new one. That way we could get something fresh up here on the channel with this series and kind of continue it, keep it fresh, and make sure that, you know, I'm not neglecting this series as well. So it's pretty sad that I have so many stories from school lockdowns, but yeah, I grew up in the United States. They're pretty common, unfortunately, especially in the 21st century. It's pretty common to have your school go into lockdown, especially for like violent stuff, which is weird, but I know a lot of you are international viewers, and the thought of, you know, a school getting sprayed up by somebody or a bomb threat, something like that, that's not really something that you would think of. That's not something that like society really fathoms, because it's just not really that common. But unfortunately here in the United States, that's a very unfortunate part of our society, is that it's a pretty common thing going on right now. So yeah, when I was growing up, man, that was when that was all kind of taken off. And well, I mean, when I was like first starting school, it wasn't really all that common, and then like right when I started hitting elementary school, that's like when Virginia Tech happened, and then there was like a few smaller ones, and then once I really got into middle school, it was like, I don't know, it just like, it got huge. I don't understand that. It was crazy, but I don't know. When I was young, it wasn't something that we ever really worried about. Like, I don't remember that many lockdown drills or anything when I was really young. But then, you know, once we were in middle school and there was like a bunch of really like big national tragedies, they were pretty much everywhere. But the one that we're going to be talking about today, this is part 2 of the school lockdown mini story series here, is essentially going to be taking place my junior year of high school. Now, this is when I went to trade school, so I was no longer actually like in a public quote-unquote high school. I mean, it was still a public high school, but it wasn't like a public high school in like a traditional concept. Like, you had to, I don't know, you had to like fill out paperwork and get accepted to go to this school, but it was still like a public high school. It wasn't really private, you know, it wasn't like a real private strict school or anything like that. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. It was borderline private. It was weird. This school was like right on the border of this ghetto area too, so this is why this story even takes place really in the first place, is that it's right here on this bordered area. Like, there's literally a line. There's a fence on one side of the school that's just a bunch of apartment complexes all the way down the entire school, and then on the other side of the school, it's just literally nothing. There's just nothing there, and the school is right there. It's the border, you know what I'm saying? So when I went to this school, there was nothing really going on that I would say really worried me until this school lockdown. I mean, we never really had to worry about anything going on, you know. Nobody was really worried about anything. There was no, like, you never had, like, gangs, you know, overrunning the school or anything like that. It wasn't crazy in it like that, so most of the time we were alright. But yeah, this was my junior year, and it was like December when this happened, so it was snowing outside, it was weird, because that's like one of the weird details that I remember. Like, you know, I was outside when this happened, when this whole thing really broke down. So this is like a multi-building campus, which to me was weird, because when I went to public high school, and I did go back for my senior year, it was just all in one big building. Like, it was a huge high school, and this was like multiple buildings. So when I had different classes, I had to walk between different buildings, which I did not like, especially in the winter when especially here in the Midwest, man, it gets really freezing cold. Like, the temperature drops really quick, especially, oh my god. It'll just, especially in the winter, it gets bad. It'll drop real quick. The ice will build up and you'll be busting your ass, and the snow will build up real quick. You gotta walk through all that, trudge through that. Not really fun. So walking outside wasn't cool. Now, I was walking with 2 people, and the thing is this pathway is like 40 feet away from this fence line of these ghetto apartment buildings, okay? And you can see everything on the other side of this fence line. Like, there's some trees that kind of block the view, but you can see distinctively like what's going on in at least 2 or 3 of these parking lots. And there's always something going down over there, man. There's always police in this area, just not known as a particularly safe place to be. Well, we were walking, and we're walking down this pathway, and it's covered, thankfully, so there's not too much ice, and we're just talking, right? We're probably halfway down this pathway to the next building, and it's not super far. It's probably only like 150 feet. It's not even really that far to get to this other building. It's not like we gotta go a half mile to get to this other building or anything, so I'm going to English class by the time that this is all going down. This is third period that we're going into, so it's only like 9 o'clock. It's like 9:15 by the time this is all going down. It isn't really that late in the day. So we get inside this building, and it's like there's an ID system to even get in and out of these buildings, which I guess would be a good thing if something was going down, but then again, if someone was doing something, I mean, they would probably have an ID anyway, so we would probably be in trouble. But we all get inside the building, and guess what? We're in lockdown by the time the period is starting. So, you know, now this is where the fear becomes extremely real for me. Now, here's the problem. Here is the problem, folks. Your boy Optimus sat with his friend, his good buddy here, literally right at the windows. And these windows, guess exactly where they face. They face the apartment complexes. If this person is doing something, the first people they see from the outside is Optimus. And literally the entire English class on the second floor of this building. So, because like the first floor it's weird. It's like halfway underground, halfway not. I don't know. It's a weird design. It's so hard to explain. But the first people they're gonna see is us. And that scares the ever-living shit out of me. So, I'm sitting here wondering what's about to happen. And, you know, they're trying to get us to focus in on English. The teacher's, okay, I know everything's going on, everyone's all scared, you need to focus in, everything's gonna be fine. No, not everything is going to be fine. You do know, like, the history of what's been going on in the country, right? Like, it's not like this is a rare occurrence for something like this to happen, so I don't know, it was really weird. Now, when I went into this class anyway, the only thing I would do, and I mean literally the only thing I would do, is listen to music. That's all I would do, so I automatically wasn't listening to a word she was saying. And I was just sitting here just trying my hardest to ignore what was going on, because I was just trying to get away from the issue. I was like, please make sure that this isn't actually happening. And we sat there that entire class period just terrified. We didn't hear any police sirens, which was weird because you would think, you know, oh hey, the school's in lockdown. Yeah, I didn't see any cops or anything like that. That started to worry me really quickly, like what was going on here. Are we getting a 1-star GTA response, or is there going to be a 5-star GTA response? What's going on? I don't know, but I was getting pretty scared because there was nothing. Eventually they gave us the all clear and everything to kind of, I guess, leave class and go on to the next one. Now my next class was guided study anyway, which in there literally all I did was listen to music, read, play flash games on the computer, talk with my friends. I actually made some of my older YouTube videos in that period, which is pretty funny to think back on, but I used to bring my old laptop in there and play some of the older Call of Duty games on campaign. That's all I did in there, so I mean, it was shortened and I was kind of mad about that because I couldn't have my time to screw off for the day. But at the same time, I also wasn't killed, so that was pretty cool, and it did turn out that we did figure out what was going on. So essentially, some guy in this apartment complex was walking around outside with a gun, literally, you know, just a couple of feet, basically, from this school, where a bunch of people are walking around outside, and that kind of boded a problem because of obvious reasons, and well, yeah, that put the school into lockdown, and the police came and everything over there into the apartment complex to check everything out. Of course, nobody at the school really knew what was going on because, well, they didn't tell us, like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a dude with a gun hanging out in the apartment complex, so everyone in that English class over there, go ahead and look out the window, you'll see what's going on right over there. That wasn't really what was going on, so that's basically what happened. Yeah, it put the school into lockdown, and it was pretty scary because nobody had any clue what was going on, but yeah, that was essentially what happened. This wasn't the reason that I ended up leaving the school. I'll probably talk about that in a future story time. I do want to reiterate that while I can't speak in this video, so yeah, this wasn't the reason that I left the school. I know people might be like, oh, this has to be the reason that he left the school, because I know some people probably would take that as a reason to leave, but no. There was never like another major incident or anything after that, believe it or not. But with that being said, yeah, that's the second school lockdown story I have for you guys. I probably have a couple more that I can give you guys that are pretty decent. I have like 7 or 8 that I can remember, but you know, like 3 or 4 of them were pretty uneventful. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below, lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, sitting through school lockdown and signing out.